live in Canary Islands in Tenerife.
Yes.
I moved there about 15 years ago, in fact for windsurfing, not for kiteboarding, because it's warm and windy the whole year.
Yeah. It's windy the whole
That's
year.
it, that's
Yeah.
it. Because it's warm.
Yes. So just to give us a bit of the background, so you're from UK, yeah?
Yes.
You started windsurfing very early.
I started sailing and surfing when I was very young.
Yeah.
And then I was windsurfing from when I was around 15, 16.
Okay.
And I was competing a lot in the UK and some European events, but I wasn't very good at it. And I was training in Tenerife in the winter. And one year I decided that it was cheaper to buy a ticket to Tenerife and live there than to buy a winter wetsuit. So.
We got this one. Yeah. Some promotion for Ryanair.
Editing.
Where's the manager? Okay, so you went practicing to the top of the top in windsurfing, World Tour, you know.
I competed in a few World Tour events, but wasn't perfect.
Okay, but very quickly you went to the top in kiting. How did you get introduced to kiting?
When I was already living in Tenerife at this point, and in fact some French riders, Christopher Tasty and François came with the original Whip the Kite, and myself and a friend decided that we would try it, and we did.
Yeah, so that was 97, 98?
98.
Yeah.
In the years where when you bought a kite, you got a kite and some lines and you had to make your own bar.
Okay. And one of the first competitions, very quickly, Red King of the Air, no?
Well, I went after a short time. I went to Cabo Verde for a competition, and I did reasonably well. And from then I continued with other competitions.
Okay, so to the top, because so what's your titles? You hold a couple of crowns, I guess.
Yeah, in 2002 I won a few competitions.
Yeah. You can be more.
He's French. Modesty doesn't work with him.
2 times or 3 times?
Who's counting?
In 2002 there were still 2 kiteboarding world tours, and at the same time there was also a couple of Red Bull competitions, and I won that year.
But you never won, if I well remember, you never won the battle for the belt.
Challenge!
One question everyone kind of like wonder, I know like it's very extreme conditions for you because of the cold, but will you be competing tomorrow?
It's possible.
Then, so competitions, then the evolutions after the competitions, what happens?
Well, of course, I started late. I was already old before I started competing, so I stopped to compete, and I started to work with a factory in Poland, and we created the Belay brand, who I worked with for a few years and managed that brand. But the brand wanted to go into kites and other things, and I really wanted to focus on kiteboards. So 3 or 4 years ago, I left and set up Shinn as a solo brand of kiteboards.
So big step, yeah, on your own.
Yeah. In fact, when I was sponsored by Nash, I was responsible for a lot of the testing and R&D of the kiteboards, and then when I was working on the Belay, I was doing the same. So not as huge a step as it looks.
Okay. And how's business? That's the sentence they all say here in Ireland every day. Say, how's business, François? How's business, Mark?
Oh
yeah, we'll get there. That's where you're going.
Business is hard.
You're
running out of
everywhere in the
film.
world. Yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah, we sell to a lot of countries, but business is good. If you make a dedicated product and you make a lot of effort to make a good product,
Yes.
people still buy kiteboard equipment, they still buy cars, they still buy everything, but they're more selective about what they buy.
And that would be the philosophy of the Shinn, yeah?
For us, this works well because we spend a lot of time and effort and money making the best product we can. And if you're only going to buy one board in 3 years, to spend 100 euros more to have the perfect board is not a lot. But it's for sure it's not easy for anyone.
Who's doing all the R&D these days? You have like your team riders in Tenerife, or is it
I have some team riders and test riders, but pretty much I do it.
you do it yourself? Yeah. At the end of the day.
I test by comparative testing. So I have a board that I like, and I have a new board, and I test the two. So I ride one, I ride the other. And normally the test lasts 1 minute, because after 1 minute you start to get used to the board and you don't feel the differences anymore. And so in fact, the best kite boards I test for 1 minute or 2 minutes, and there's nothing more to know. And the boards that I ride a lot are the ones that I don't like, because I don't know why I don't like it, and then I ride it more to find out what's wrong
Still
with it.
loads of secrets and mystery behind the
But
thing.
if you test a lot of boards, the differences are small, and after a minute or two you adjust to the board and you don't feel the difference anymore.
Okay.
But I send a lot of boards to different spots just to check, because the place is different, the chop is different, the wind is different, and so I have some very sensitive riders that I work with that I send boards to make sure that everything.
Thanks for the feedback, it's very important. What's so we all know that kitesurfing has lots of disciplines. What would be at now, today, like your best kind of like condition? Is it wave riding? Is it big air like you used to do? Is it?
If I want to ride for myself, then I like to ride in the waves. But I enjoy it all. I enjoy every aspect of kiteboarding, but I don't need to ride 5 hours a day. If I go with the freestyle board for 1 hour, I'm happy. And the next day, if it's windy, I'll do some big air and test a different board. I don't have the focus and drive that I had 10 years ago to do the same thing 5 hours a day. Every day.
You don't have maybe the time either. Well, can you manage to go on the water every day?
Yes, my office is 50 meters from the beach.
It's a bit like here, okay, so that's great. So you're well involved. So here is your business. There is then your ridings and all your teams. You're well involved with the kite world, with the mark your words, and you have like a really good view on the whole industry. Where do you see these days? What's for you like the kite surfing in 2013? Where we're going? Would you give like a few words about like what you can see?
I think everyone is looking a bit too far forward. Where kite surfing is well, last week I was in Essex in the east coast of the UK. We were with a kite school there. They made till now this year 700 lessons. That's a lot of lessons considering how cold it is. And the truth is that that's the future of kiteboarding, is more people. As long as the sport tries to be too elite and too specialist, too much freestyle, too much big waves, it will be a small sport. The future is that we need more people in the sport. When we have more people, the brands have more options. There's a limited amount of money in the sport, and that amount of money has to drive it forward. When we have more people in the sport, there's more money inside the circle of the sport, and it's possible for the sport to go forward.
What do you think of the Olympics, for instance? Is it too elitist? Is it too early? Is it like we know that we have like Bruno with the big racers, and we have like lots of different people? You don't have to fight. I'm sure like everyone has a different view on the subject.
It's really a shame. It would have been a fantastic opportunity for kiteboarding. It's a decision made 100% on politics and money. It has nothing to do with sporting value, because I'm a very keen windsurfer. My history is windsurfing. I still windsurf. I live in one of the most popular windsurf destinations in Europe. I have never seen an Olympic RSX windsurfer in real life. In my life, I have not seen one. It's not possible that this sport represents windsurfing. It's an anomaly. It's not even possible to buy an Olympic RSX windsurf board. You have to go to the National Sailing Federation and the decision to not have kiteboarding was 100% politics and money,
Okay.
and that's a shame.
That's where it sometimes goes politics and money. So far, so good. We're doing our little sports and we'll see. About your visit in Ireland, are you glad to be here? Beside the fact that you're a bit cold, but I'm sure like, we got lots of ladies that are going to warm you up. Just for some questions that already was asked, are you married and children?
I'm going to be married in 1 month's time.
Congratulations! So 1 month, very far away. Not yet. So yes. So what do you think of your? Are you a bit excited about meeting the Irish people? And you've been here how many times? You told me.
I've been many times in Ireland, but never in Dublin. I've always been on
Are you serious?
on the west coast.
Yeah,
and in fact,
welcome.
my family is from Ireland, from Cork, but that's the place to
That is the real capital of Ireland.
That's from your accent.
The rebel county.
His name was Shinn,
it the
but he
rebel
didn't have
county.
an H in the spelling.
Very good. So we know a lot of things that not too many people knows. Well, that's great. I think the only thing we can say is first of all, big thanks for coming. Big thanks to Mike to organize everything. It's a great pleasure to have you in Ireland and to share the moments we're gonna have during the weekend, which is a very special moment for every one of us. And we wish that you're gonna have like a fantastic time in Irish. But I never say it right. We say sloucher. Is there anyone? We have like 3 minutes or 4 minutes for questions. Is there anyone who wants to ask a question to Mark Shinn?
Incredible. I'm sure they're as good as anything you see in Brazil or
Much better
or
actually.
South Africa.
Way better.
We don't want to otherwise we're gonna show you.
Kiteboarding is such a nice sport because you can be anywhere and have a great day. It's not really condition specific to have a good day in kiteboarding.
It's your friends, that's the condition.
Sorry?
It's your friends.
Yeah.
If you have friends anywhere.
And it's more than 10 degrees.
You're lucky because this weekend the wind is turning southerly and it's going to be like last year, California.
30 degrees.
13 degrees. You see all these faces, they're all going to be like red.
You could have called it
Crawling on the
Tenerife
sun.
instead of California.
Yeah?
Call it Tenerife instead of California.
Mark, you've got 5k of sand, 500 metres off. You're still there at the moment. Shallow, flat water. Best place to learn. Fantastic conditions in the southeast of Italy. Yeah?
Yeah!
Best in the world?
Yeah!
Tell us about that launch 5 minutes from your house. What's it used to be called? Maninas?
It's a bit rocky, yeah.
And what's the rock called?
Very good,
That's okay, it's mostly.
Where the beach next to my house has got a lot of rocks, but it's not busy.
You're on your own.
Where did you learn in the early days?
Yeah, I lost a lot of skills.
Las Rocas. Las Rocas.
We all did, yeah. Definitely. You have sometimes to learn the hard way. Back in the days, huh?
Yeah.
And when you say like 700 students, and now it's much easier for the students, for whoever learned recently, you really don't know how lucky you are. Yeah.
That's true. It's amazing how good the equipment is now to learn on.
Yeah.
It's, but I think that the next development in the sport is that the people that have come to the sport in the last 5 years, the equipment is so easy to use that there's a lack of technique now in the sport. I'm sure Bruno and Sebastian will remember 10 years ago you saw, even on two-line kites, you saw people jumping all the time, really high. With the new kites, it's very easy to put the kite above your head and pull the bar in and to go 1 or 2 meters in the air. But in fact, you haven't mastered jumping at all. You just have a kite that lets you get away with it. And I think, well, I hope that there will be a development in the sport where people start to think about technique again. You know? Because you have a kite, you can jump 8-10 meters high. You know, you shouldn't be satisfied with 2 meters high. and you see it in every sport. The equipment progresses, the sport gets easy, but the level comes down, and then at one point, riders have to make a decision. You know, do you have to study and learn a bit and progress, or do you just want to ride out and back and stay the same? If you stay the same, you'll get bored with the sport fast. You know, if you ride 20 times a year and you do the same things 20 times a year, next year you'll be less motivated, the year after less motivated again, and the year after that you'll buy a mountain bike.
There's a door out back, Colin.
I think it depends on the lifestyle though, because a lot of people will go like they're afraid to do stuff because of the lifestyle they live, you know, and they're support themselves through different things, and then they take hesitation.
To an extent, but
Yeah,
you
they
don't have to risk your
No.
your health to make progress.
I totally agree with
That's
that.
Our sport is a life party. She's a very.
But surely,
technique is not taking risks. Technique is to get better without taking
Yeah.
risks. Yeah, is to improve yourself and learn the proper way to do it. And using the fact that equipment has advanced as like a walking stick, it's a short-term solution.
It makes it too easy.
Then how are you
yeah.
going to change that? Because the equipment's
Not
really
challenge.
not, or how is anyone going to change that? Because the equipment is going to
Well,
be
challenge
Well,
yourself.
It comes
like-
from the riders.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
challenge
only
yourself.
two options. The riders will do the same thing that they always do, and they won't improve, and they will stop, because anything that you do the same thing every day, same day in, day out, becomes boring. Or they'll have to think about it. It's for the
So it's
last
more
5 years, the
changing
equipment
mindset.
has been improving, and you can buy new equipment, so you get better. But you haven't in fact got better. You've just your equipment has got better. But we've reached a point now where the equipment is not changing so fast. Apart from
yeah, but there is a
obviously
big level like in freestyle, you know. Now, like people
No,
in
but-
freestyle are very, very good now, you know.
Yeah.
No, like where is he gonna go, you know?
But how many people?
Not that further.
Honestly, how many people here have unhooked in the last month? But
Did you take it off? Because when you
Seriously.
edit, edited,
It's a
it's
serious question.
you
If you
always
unhooked
take your
in
time.
the last
and
month,
go
put your
back,
hand up.
so-
yeah, and I regret it.
My hand's down. That's for sure.
But
Why?
surely the easy to
So
use
the-
gear is the only way to get more numbers. You have to go gear for everybody to be able to use. So you did.
It's a progression. It's and it has to be a culture in the sport. Yeah, it's if you play golf and you have a handicap of 20 and you want to get better, what do? You take some lessons. Yeah,
Yeah.
you improve your technique.
Yep.
We're stuck a little bit in a culture in kiteboarding, and windsurfing has the same problem always as well, which is I can go upwind, I know best. How many people do you know that can kiteboard well, that took a lesson ever, that went on a clinic, that went to a... We don't know best, yeah? I don't know best.
Yeah, right.
So, and the sport needs to be a mature sport, this needs to happen.
So I guess it's bring us to a question like, when are we getting like Shinn kites?
Never. No, but I don't have any passion for making kites.
Okay.
I have a passion for making kiteboards. It's there's many brands that make kiteboards as their beeline because they have to. Kiteboards, it's very complicated. It's no different to making snowboards or windsurf boards, or it's a very complicated business. And it was always my passion to do that. And there's no need to make kites. I don't enjoy it. I don't want to do it. So I don't know why I would. I don't know why I would do that. I don't want to devalue the position of my brand by doing something I don't want to do, because it will end up as a half-assed effort. And the riders will know it's a half-assed effort. Yeah, it's like I can take a lot of adverts and I can make some fancy videos and put it online, but at the end of the day, everyone knows what a half-assed product is. Yeah, it always comes through after 1 year or two because it's just not that good.
Did you feel that way with Nobile? I have Nobiles.
Yeah, but that's a big problem, yeah, because you didn't get it from here.
We had a long-term plan for Mobile, and after 1 year I was very happy where the brand was positioned for kite. But my partner at the time and I couldn't agree on the way forwards, and I decided that I'd rather not do it than do it half-assed.
Here, we got something for you. It's
the
a band of his phone.
Ah, very nice. Thank you.
Good stuff.
Listen to some Irish music when you're
I
kiting
think-
in Tarifa.
Yeah.
Tenerife.
Tenerife. Sorry. That was
I think we're pretty much it. So the tradition is like you can sign one of the Shelf of Fame, yeah, the Hall of Fame, the Shelf of Fame. So it's not full too much because
we
we
never
just
started
erase
before.
our
Lenten
there
came
was
last time and we
Robinage,
started
like
to...
all the brands we don't do anymore, we just erase them. So obviously, it's great for the people who I think that's something very important.
Very instructive
I'm
as well.
not going to do a sales speech here, but that's it's all about the community and the people in Ireland. That's something that we really conscious of, and I think it's really important that the people, whenever they soon in the next days or so buy some Shinn boards, they know that they met Mr. Shinn himself, and I think it's about the philosophy and the persons behind. So yeah,
We have
boards for girls.
and yeah, but there is only one, and like, well, we have
They
problems
have
with
two
string
boards
boards.
for girls.
two. We have two.
Two.
Yeah, yeah.
Two.
Only two?
The problem with boards for girls is
We're not gonna touch the girls. We were about to be. I invite you to talk about the girls' boards tomorrow at the stand Shinn. So
I'm going to say it now.
There's a lot of women here, be careful.
There is, if we have 8 ranges in Shinn, we should have 8 women's boards, because we should, for every men's board we should have a women's board. Bad news. I don't sell enough, I just lose money with it.
So girls.
We
We need more
made a-
girls rider.
We made a commitment a while ago to have more women team riders. We have 3 women team riders, which even North and Nash don't have so many female team riders. And we introduced a second line of Phenomenal to go with the Toy Boy. At this point, it's an investment.
So girls, you know,
New boards,
what does it
girls.
mean?
We have to buy toy boys.
Very good. Okay.
Or a boy toy.
Thank you everyone. I think just before I say big thanks, the plans tonight, guys, the plans tonight is like whoever wants to have a couple of drinks, we're going at Gilbert and Wright's for really a quiet evening. For the registration, it's 9:30 tomorrow morning on the beach, Causeway side. Causeway, don't go to the wooden bridge as usual. You can enjoy the beautiful full moon behind you. We organized for Mark, because the sun is shining, maybe not too much, but the moon is shining very much. Do we do a picture all together?
Yeah, maybe, but if even, I don't know if people are driving or not. If you need a taxi, we have some cards here if you want to call a taxi.